The Fruit of Calvinism, a story of South Africa. Throughout history, we have seen people act in the name of their religion while committing heinous acts. Therefore, it is not fair to judge a religious belief system solely by the actions of its followers. However, when those followers are acting consistently with the teachings and examples of the founder or the core doctrine of that belief system, then it is reasonable to evaluate the belief system by the fruit it produces. South Africa is presently governed by leaders who pursue socialist and communist policies, many of whom have been proven to be incompetent and corrupt, contributing to the country's decline at an alarming rate. However, they are able to remain in power because many wounded people continue to vote for them as a reaction against the evil apartheid system that harmed millions of citizens. The machinery of apartheid was socially engineered in part through the influence of the Dutch Reformed Church, which was the dominant church of the time. Its members were taught that God had chosen them above others, and within the historical context of the struggle and wars they had endured, the nation's identity was fertile ground for the acceptance of such teachings. This relationship between church and the state did not arise in a vacuum. It was John Calvin himself who helped shape the consistory in Geneva into a tightly regulated Christian society. Under this system, the church and civil government worked closely together. Moral laws were strictly enforced, and the consistory, the church court, exercised significant influence, even affecting civil penalties imposed upon citizens. One of the most well-known examples from this period was the trial of Michael Servetus in 1553. Servetus was executed by burning, and while Calvin preferred a less severe method of execution, he nevertheless approved of the death penalty. Reformed theology also tends towards the view that God loves whom he chooses to love and hates whom he chooses to hate. It is therefore not difficult to see how some might conclude that if God loves certain people and hates others, then believers should likewise love those whom God loves and hate those whom God hates. Jesus, however, taught in Matthew chapter 7, verse 16 to verse 17, "You will know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes from thorn bushes, or figs from thistles? Even so, every good tree bears good fruit, but bad trees bear bad fruit." Like and subscribe for more 2-minute biblical rebuttals.